Before we get started, make sure to turn on post notification and subscribe to the channel. Dean Ambrose possibly set to retire early. WWE released a brand new chronicle following NXT TakeOver War Games that focused solely on Dean Ambrose, capturing the moments that led to his return all the way to his betrayal of Seth Rollins and everything in between. Throughout the incredible documentary, Ambrose was shown in a brand new light that really allowed fans to understand the struggle and anguish that he suffered in order to get back to the ring, as well as capturing his intense personality. It was obvious from watching the chronicle why Ambrose is so beloved by fans and why WWE thinks so highly of him, with Vince McMahon himself being visibly overjoyed at his return to the company, while there is some fascinating content, including Ambrose's emotional response to Roman Reigns' leukemia announcement. Perhaps the biggest standout was how many times he hinted at the fact he is considering an early retirement from professional wrestling. At just 32 years old, this was something that took fans by surprise, as it isn't something you expect to hear from someone so young in the industry. Especially after just returning from a lengthy injury, Ambrose has been in the sport for a long time now and has really put his body through the ringer, especially early in his career when he worked in CZW, a company which is known for having a very hardcore style and no doubt put ears on Ambrose's body. However, the lunatic fringe is right in the middle of his career's peak, especially fresh off his big heel turn, and therefore it's surprising to hear him question how long he'll be sticking around in WWE. Admitting this might be his last tour of the world, Ambrose openly stated he doesn't know how much longer he is planning on doing this, which might cause alarm bells to start ringing in the minds of some of the most dedicated and hardcore fans. But when you consider how difficult the past year has been for the former WWE champion, it shouldn't really be surprising. After spending most of the year on the shelf with his tricep injury, only to return as a backup for Rollins, something he openly admitted he wasn't happy with in the chronicle, it hasn't been the year he had planned. This wasn't made any easier with Reigns' illness, as the big dog is, as Ambrose described, his road wife, and is the person who he travels around the globe with and rides in the cars with, and without him, things are suddenly going to be tougher without having that shoulder to lean on. On top of that, Ambrose revealed during the chronicle that he almost died this year after suffering an infection, something that very few people knew about and certainly caught many by surprise during the show. With all of those difficult situations piling up on each other, plus the fact he really has already achieved so much in the business, it really isn't a shock to hear him thinking about retiring earlier than most might. The injury and near-death experience have clearly opened his eyes to the fact there's more to life than just wrestling, but the passion he has for the sport itself was also very clear throughout, with Ambrose admitting how much he missed it and needed that release inside the squared circle. You could visibly see how much he cared about wrestling and needed to be back into the ring to feel fulfilled, which is something that he would miss if he decided to call it a day at some point in the near future. For WWE, it would be a huge blow to lose another of its major stars so early, as the company is likely planning on having Ambrose around for the long term, especially because his wife, Renee Young, is such a key part of WWE as well, even more so with their new commentary role. While Ambrose is clearly considering retiring, fans don't need to panic just yet, as his contract isn't due to expire anytime soon, and he did state that he wants to at least go around the world with the company one more time, which isn't exactly something that can be done overnight. Plus, right now, Ambrose is one of the most featured superstars on Monday Night Raw every week, and is finally being invested in as a top heel, something that seems to suit his personality a lot more, and hopefully that will drive him to stick around for longer and continue to entertain. However, it must not be forgotten that these people who seem so much larger than life are just human beings at the end of the day, and only they can tell how their bodies and minds feel. And if Ambrose truly does need to call it a day earlier than people would like, then it's a decision the WWE Universe must respect.